Trump just made a move that has military families across this country sick to their stomachs. And while he was busy making nice with a man linked to the deaths of U.S. troops, someone else was making a statement of their own. Not in a speech, not on social media, but in the sky. Stick around for the whole video. You are not going to want to miss how the Democrats let Trump know how they feel about his new friends in the Middle East. But before we get to that, let's take a look at the people in question that Trump became buddies with on his personal Middle Eastern business retreat. Trust me, this trip wasn't for the United States, okay? This trip was for securing as many deals as possible for him and his family because, again, that's all he cares about, okay? So Trump is currently in the Middle East. Just yesterday, he accepted a $400 million private jet from a Qatari royal, and I know we all know that. It's all over the headlines. But what you probably don't know is this wasn't just some gift from a friendly foreign leader. Gave Trump the plane, once helped the architect of 9/11 escape.
It has recently been revealed that Qatar served as a sanctuary to the mastermind of the 9/11 attacks. His name, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, a Pakistani who grew up in Kuwait. The revelation was reported in a New York Daily News article by Richard Clarke, a former national coordinator for security and counterterrorism in both the Clinton and Bush administrations. Mohammed was considered by the US the most dangerous individual terrorist at large in 1996, after he was connected to bombing plots in New York and Manila. US intelligence located him in Qatar, but were unable to detain him immediately due to diplomatic barriers. When the US ambassador requested that Mohammed be held for a few hours, he mysteriously disappeared from Doha, despite the US envoy earlier meeting with then Qatari Emir Hamad to discuss the plan to detain him. Mohammed went on to organize the 9/11 attacks, the Bali bombing in Indonesia, and other attacks.
Because this royal family gave him cover. And now the same family is handing Trump a plane. And if you think that's unforgivable, wait till you hear what Trump did today.
We are currently exploring normalizing relations with Syria's new government, as you know, beginning with my meeting with President Ahmed al-Shara and Secretary Rubio's meeting with the Syrian foreign minister in Turkey after discussing the situation with Crown Prince Mohammed, ordering the cessation of sanctions against Syria to give them a fresh start.
He met with the new Syrian president, who was a former al-Qaeda leader, a man who led terrorists that killed U.S. troops in Iraq. And get this, Trump didn't confront him. He didn't call him out. He smiled and shook his hand. 2 days, 2 men, both of them connected to Americans who never made it home. And some of those families, they voted for Trump. And now they watch him do this? I mean, come on, it's too many planes, it's too much irony, and way too much to pretend that this is normal. But while we're on the subject of planes, let's take a look at the one that's flying over Mar-a-Lago. That right there, that's a patriot, okay? So while Trump was making friends with America's enemies, this flew over his home, a giant banner that said, "Welcome to Mar-a-Lago." All right, this is not a joke. I'm very serious. While Trump was still in the Middle East, a plane started circling above his Florida estate, and it was dragging a massive banner in bold black letters and bright white cloth. It read, "Welcome to Mar-a-Lago." No explanation, no footnotes, just that. That's it. But the group behind it, Mad Dog Pack, told Newsweek they wanted to send a message to Trump that he couldn't block, that he couldn't delete, and that he couldn't ignore. And I'll be honest with you, they've done this before. Banners over Mar-a-Lago, over CPAC, over Republican offices, but this one hits harder because it comes just as Trump takes meetings with regimes tied to American deaths. And this time the message wasn't behind a paywall or a teleprompter. It was literally written in the sky. Here's what Newsweek wrote. A plane flying over Palm Beach, Florida, trailed a banner with the message, "Welcome to Mar-a-Lago," as it looped near Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. I say it's about time. I mean, look, they didn't fly this over Washington, all right? They flew it over his front yard. So it seems if you want to get Trump's attention, you don't go to Congress. You go to Mar-a-Lago, Qatari. We'll call it Qatari. And this message, Qatari, it's already sticking. And when they asked why they did it this time, the founder said, well, you can't ban a banner, you can't delete the sky, and you can't unsee it. And you know what? He's totally right. I'm going to forever, it is Qatari for me forever. That's just the way it is, okay? So Trump spent years controlling the headlines, but he can't control the skies. Trump wants to lead this country, but look who he's aligning himself with. First, a monarch who is tied to 9/11 gives him a $400 million plane. Now the new president of Syria, who actually fought and killed American soldiers in Iraq. I mean, this isn't corruption. I mean, oh my God, this is so far beyond corruption. This is something deeper. It's something darker. And this week, someone finally spelled it out. Not on a podcast, not in a tweet, but in the sky. So you know what? Welcome to Mar-a-Lago. And as always, it is an absolute pleasure bringing you the news today. You guys can find me on my Instagram 24/7. Come by and say hi. And until next time, have a wonderful day.